Champions Arena.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to RNG Crypto. It's your boy here with you for another video, and in this video we are bringing you Champions Arena. You just saw the trailer. It is absolutely gorgeous. Not just the trailer, but the game itself. I've been testing it here for a couple of weeks now, and I mean, wow, I am blown away by the absolute quality of the production of this game. This is by far, in my opinion, the best mobile game that I've played to date. But you be the judge of that as you go and check it out yourself. Links down below to create yourself an account and download the game. It is free to play, as well as you look at the content of this video, because I've got a lot of information in this video on top of a couple of Easter eggs, and I'm doing a giveaway of one of my rare NFTs, so you definitely do not want to miss out on that. With that said, this content is brought to you by GALA Games. Make sure you go and check them out, give them a follow, give them a subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, because they are coming out with new stuff all the time. You don't want to miss on anything there. Enough of that, let's jump right into the actual app itself and show you around. Alright guys, so I'm here in the app, and you can see I've already played this game a little bit. I'm level 21 right now. In the top right corner you can see my level just kind of going around in a counterclockwise sort of fashion. You can see here next is the Cash App. This is where you can go and make purchases. You can see I've made a couple of purchases already, but essentially there's also a monthly subscription model where you can get gems on a daily basis, and I can tell you a little bit about gems here in a second. Basically that's going to be your in-game currency. Every time you spend gems in the game, that same dollar amount in GALA will be burned from the supply. So that's sort of how gems work. There's a battle pass as well. I've already maxed that out. I've been playing this game quite a bit, I'm embarrassed to say, but essentially very similar to kind of like Call of Duty fashion, where you've got a battle pass and every level you unlock some new stuff. Really cool here, and I really like the way that they did this. It's very smooth. Everything's been working. Right underneath you can see my login. I've gotten 5 out of 7 logins. Once I complete that task, I get to get some experience. Experience is what you're going to need to actually upgrade and level up your champions. Under login, next we're going to have estate. Let me click on that. It's going to load me into an estate, and this is sort of your free estates that you can participate in, but there are also estates NFTs that you can purchase and form guilds with, and I'll show you those here in a second. I just want to show the app first. But basically in the estate, so if I enter the estate, it's gonna let me do a couple of things, right? So there's the altar of champions here on the bottom left. If I go in there, I can actually summon champions, right? So let me just summon one just to show you guys. So if I summon one for 1,000, that's gonna show. Hopefully I get something I don't have already. We'll see. Just showing the whole animation here for you. So if I tap on that, and it is Zeki, who I already have a ton of, but essentially if you get duplicates, what you can do, you can actually dismantle them. On the right side you can see you've got promote. So let me actually go down in fashion or in order. These are all champions that I own. You can see here, and the more of these champions you have, when you actually dismantle them, you receive sort of their soul stones, and you can use those soul stones to then level them up. So you can see here the top left champion, if I click on him, he's currently a 3-star. I can make him from a rare to an epic using his soul stones. You can see there on the bottom I need 20 out of 23. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just actually gonna promote him just to show you guys. So this promotes him. Now he's gone from a rare to an epic rarity. These are not yet NFTs. In order to make them NFTs, you're gonna need to have scrolls of minting, and depending on the rarity you need more scrolls, and I'll show you all of that as we go through the Lightpaper here later. But basically right now he's an epic, and I can actually upgrade him to a legendary with some additional soul stones and some lapid that you actually receive from mining. I'll show you where you get the lapid here. I need 400, which I have. So next, minting. So if I wanted to actually mint any of my champions that I have earned in game into an NFT, I can do that here. So again, I would select that NFT there. You can see I need 6 scrolls of minting. I don't have any yet, but hopefully you can I'll have some here in the future. You can actually get these in the store. You can buy them, or you can earn them through Arena, which is the PvP, player versus player arena, where you actually match up with other GALA folks, and it's actually very cool stuff, and I'll show how that looks in here in a second. Next, exchange. This is where you can literally just exchange one for another, and dismantle. So any duplicates, you can dismantle them and actually get their or harvest their soul stones that you can then use to upgrade the existing ones you have. So currently I've got most of mine locked, so I'm not going to dismantle any, but it's pretty straightforward. All right, so exiting out of that, there's also a trade market. This is literally where you can go, and these gloves here are up for trade. Someone is actually, looks like, I kind of want these. Can I buy these? I don't know. Buy in bulk. Let me click on that. I can purchase these for 500 gems. So let me think. Do I want to purchase these? These are heroes gloves. Let me make sure. What are they for? They're for a striker. I actually do want these. Cool. So I'm going to demonstrate this live. So I'm going to purchase these for 500. Current balance 500. Yep. I'm glad this was there. All right. So I just purchased those epic gloves for a striker class. I'm going to put them on one of my strikers, so I'll show what that looks like. So I just purchased these in the market, right? I can sell items that I have. So if I wanted to put this up for sale, I can go in here, quantity. If I only have one, I can only select one. I'm going to click on select price per unit. I'm going to click on the 0, not the plus sign. That's going to bring up the calculator, and I can actually set a price here, right? Let me go and set that price for 500 and register. You actually have to pay a fee to list these as well in gems. Okay, so I'm actually not going to list them right now, but that's sort of the marketplace. So this is an in-game marketplace. Again, this is all in-game. There's no need for crypto, no need for a wallet, no need to purchase any NFTs. You literally just play the game. If you find something, you can sell it for gems, and you can then use those gems to buy scrolls of minting, and you can use scrolls of minting to create your NFTs and actually then go in the marketplace in like OpenSea or something and actually sell those NFTs. The castle is pretty much your headquarters. This allows for additional like discounts and stuff. For example, if I had the actual estate NFT and I had my castle leveled up, I can actually reduce all of the people in my guild that join my estate, the summoning fees here by a percentage. So the most I've seen so far was getting the 10,000 gem price down to 8,000. So that's pretty cool, so it's essentially the estate helps you level up, gives your guild and anyone who joins you some perks, and you sort of band together to level up all these different, the trade market, the castle, and there's a couple of other things. These two buildings on the bottom right here, I believe that's gonna have to do with like skills and enchanting weapons, gears and stuff of that nature. I don't have access to that yet, so I can't show you what that looks like, but that's pretty much the estate. So let me go back, click on the bottom left here on lobby. I'm back in the lobby, moving right along here, again still in counterclockwise fashion from estate to champion. These are my champions that I've got. You can see I've got a couple of cool champions here. Ifrit is actually my favorite. He's really cool. He's got some really powerful skills. If I click on skills here, you can see, and basically, so let me actually explain this. So you've got the 1, 2, 3 and a P for passive. So 1 basically means on the card that you use to cast your spell. If you have only a 1-star card, this is the spell it will cast. 2, if you combine your 2 1-star cards, you get a 2-star card, and I'll show what this looks like in battle. You actually then cast this spell, which is awesome. I love this one because it actually applies in damage over time or dot on the opponent. And then you've got this one, which is a big AoE, and that's where you'll need to combine 2 2-star cards into a 3-star card, and then when you cast that spell, it will actually do damage to all the enemies. And then he's got his passive, which is actually also a very powerful ability. On top of these abilities, you also have card match. So if I go back to my 3-star ability, you can see the card match here, meaning that if I were to match the color of my card to the color of my champion, I will get this bonus, deals 45% extra damage, and so on. So for this 2-star ability, you can see it deals damage over time to targets for 2 turns. Single star ability has 75% chance of removing 1 buff from the target. So these card match abilities are actually vital, especially as you progress in the game. Early game, none of this this won't matter as much, but late game, this is definitely something you want to keep in mind when you develop your strategy in taking on your opponents. This is Ifrit. That's my favorite character so far. I've got Durax, who I got out of the champion box, by the way, and I'll show you a little bit about that here later in this video. But Durax is awesome. I love him. He's a tank character. If one of my guys dies, he actually will immediately, his passive will actually counter attack and does an AoE or damage to all the enemies. Very powerful. His 2-star ability actually has the chance, or 65 or 75% chance, to stun an enemy, taking away one of their turns. So I like to use that to try and stun whatever the most powerful opponent is in that squad. So yeah, Durax is one of my favorites. I think I'm gonna keep them. Selena I got from the battle pass. So for unlocking up to level 40, I think it was, on the battle pass, I got Selena, and Selena is actually pretty powerful. She's got some really cool abilities here, and hopefully I can show you some of those here later in this video. But that's basically the champions. What you can do here, now that I'm here, I'll go ahead and apply. So I just bought the bracers here, right? Heroes bracer. So I'll go ahead and put that on, equip it, right? And that kind of brought her up. So say if I take everything off, you can see her power level, which is the orange fist there, 11,011. If I put on all her gear, that goes up to 13,600. She is my least, or has the least gear applied to her, because I just don't have any yet. But I will continue to work on getting her upgraded here. So that's that. You can actually level up your characters. I won't show it here because she is max level. I don't have enough. So let me go to her. This is another NFT, Justina, that I've got. She's a rare. I could level her up here. If I click level up, I'll just show you what that looks like once. She's level 2 now. All the stats go up, and so on. I do also want to make sure that I highlight the bottom right here, which you can see its condition. There are sun, star, and moon atmospheres that you face off in. So depending on your champion and the atmosphere that you battle in, you will be impacted either negatively or positively or neutral. So in this case, Justina has neutral for sun. She's down bad in the star, and then down 1 for moon. There are other conditions where you have, or other champions where you will actually see that the condition actually positively impacts you. So you gotta make sure you keep an eye on that, because that definitely will help you gain an edge or competitive advantage over your opponents. In arena, you're not going to be able to tell because you don't know what you're getting into, but in campaign and in the tower, you will definitely see what the atmosphere is, and you can actually customize your team according to that. So let's make sure we keep an eye on the condition. That's definitely a big tip that you want to make sure you keep in mind. Another really powerful tool that I like to use is link. So I'll go back into Justina. On the right side here, I'm going to tap on link. Here I can unlock the ability to link her, all right, and that allows me to link Justina to a higher level. So if I hit link here, I actually have to pay for that. I won't do it here, but basically I would tap on the little on the lock icon here with the 100 gems next to the right of link. I'll tap on that, and then if I do that, it actually allows me, so I'll go somewhere where I've already done this. This guy right here is actually level 1. You can see under his linked level is level 90, but his actual level is level 1 out of 80. And that's because I have him linked to Justina. So this is really powerful. This allows me to focus on just leveling up 2 of my 4 champions to a high level, and then I can link lower level champions to that level. That way I sort of am more efficient in the way that I use my resources, which is really, I think it's a neat little thing that you can do. All right, quests. These are daily, weekly, and achievement quests. I've completed all of my dailies here. You can see login, easy, acquire 1 idle reward, which I'll show you. It's very simple as well. They actually accrue pretty much every minute. Challenge 1 campaign. You don't even have to win a campaign match. You just challenge in it, right? So the dailies are pretty simple, and they reward you with experience and lapid sometimes. Your weekly quests, very similar, right? And achievement quests, you can see here, I have some actual exploration tokens, some coins, as well as experience for rewards. So basically, once I clear for that first one, once I clear stage 620, which is basically campaign 6 level 20, I will get those rewards. So every 5 stages that you complete, you actually receive a higher amount of idle rewards, which is also interesting. So I'm going to skip shop real quick and go to idle rewards here in the top right, just to show you. So my idle rewards, the elapsed time right now is 3 hours and 40 minutes, and I can collect all of these idle rewards. When I collect these, you'll see here my level went up maybe about 20% or maybe 15% in the top left corner. But basically those are the idle rewards. If I go back to quest, on achievements, right, that will actually increase. So as soon as I complete stage 620, the amount of idle rewards I receive increases just a tad. You can see here right now I've got about 106.65 per minute for experience, 61.33 per minute for coins. So that will increase as the higher you progress, or the further you progress in the campaign, which is going to be here on the bottom right. This is my campaign. So let me zoom out to world. You can see here you basically start down here in the summoner's plane and you kind of work your way up, and now I am here in the exile land. This is a tough one, because right now if you look on the left side here, you can see I've got opponents of 124, level 124. I'm currently level 90. Okay, so this is actually one that I can't win, but I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I just tapped on battle. Now I'm going to select my folks here. And every planet, depending, in the middle, you can see between the two power levels here, 73,000 and 58,000, there's sun. There's different types of environments that you can play in: sun, star, and moon. And you can see that each champion, depending on where they're from and their history, they either get a buff or debuff on that specific planet. Okay, so you can see here, very good, good, bad, very bad. So mine, Sophia, on the sun, she's very good. Ifrit, well, he looks like he's more from the underworld. He actually gets a negative. Selena gets 2 negatives, and Durax is neutral. While the other guys, they're pretty neutral, and then you've got Beckett, who's got actually 2 doubles. Couple more things, guys, I want to make sure I cover here. If you click on the top right on info, you'll actually see your union advantage, right? So this is essentially what does damage to what. So harmony are the yellows, destruction are the reds, prosperity are blue. So if you are facing a team with red, which is destruction, you want to make sure that you've got a striker or a caster or some DPS basically that's yellow to be able to counter them and make sure that you do the maximum amount of damage. Again, same thing here applies. Early game this won't matter as much, but late game this is definitely something you want to keep in mind. On top of that, on the bottom left to the left of my power level, if I tap on my little icons here, these are my summoner spells. So these are summoner spell that you can actually cast during the match. When you cast spells with your champions, you actually have the ability or chance of actually accumulating mana, and with that mana you can actually create or cast some of these spells here when it is your turn. So some of these are healing spells, some of the protection spells. There's actually some spells where you can do acceleration, basically meaning that your gauge goes up, meaning that you can actually it's going to be your turn quicker or faster than the opponent. So sometimes you'll be able to do 2 casts without the opponent even getting anything in. You can do deceleration, which slows down the gauge of your opponents, so you'll have again more chance to get any moves in when you're battling them. So this is actually very important, especially late game. In the beginning, again, probably won't matter as much, but late game and in the arena in PvP battles, this is definitely something you want to keep in mind and make sure you're taking advantage of. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and join this battle here, and this is against the CPU. This is not a PvP type battle. So let me turn off auto. By the way, you can unlock auto and 2x speed as you progress down the campaign, so a lot of this can also actually be sort of automated. However, as you start facing some better opponents, like these guys that are absolutely crushing me right now, you'll actually need to unlock the auto. So what I'll do, I've got Ifrit, he's red. I'm going to combine my 2 red cards here. I'm going to pick that. It's a random, so it's going to randomly pick 2, right? He does a ton of damage, and then he applies a dot or a damage over time effect, where every time they do a turn, like she just got hit 1400. All right, Selena, she is gold, so I'm going to combine here. I actually don't really have much choice here, so I'm just going to take the 2 here. If you look over their heads, you can see an extra diamond over their arrow. That means I'll do more damage against them. So I'm going to pick Durax here because he's pretty powerful. All right. and well, she's about 33 levels lower, so she doesn't do much damage here. So she's blue. I've already got 2-star blue. I don't have any 2-star to combine with, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to put it on Beckett here on the right with the diamond over his head. Decent damage. Again, I'm way out leveled here, so I'm not going to win this, but I just want to see show you what this looks like. It's pretty cool. And down to 2 it is. So I've got 2-star red cards here. Hopefully Ifrit survives this and I can actually show you his AoE, which is absolutely cool looking. So I'll go that. I'll just combine the 2 cards, hit the 3-star, damage to all. Look at him go. Ooh wee. Yeah, this is a really powerful. I mean, 15k. I took out 2 of them. It's absolutely amazing how much damage he does, and I mean, he's really, really powerful. One of my favorites for sure. But again, I'm majorly or severely out leveled here, so definitely lost that match. All right, well, that kind of what that looks like. Go ahead and exit out here. Exit out of the campaign mode and move in over skipping challenge. For now I want to show you Mayhem. This is where you're going to be doing most of your grinding. You can see here I've got the complete indicator for one of my campaigns that I just did in Mayhem. Basically you go out and you explore the land, and then depending on what you find, you may actually have some opportunity to gather additional resources. So let me click on reward here. I've got some experience. I didn't unlock anything, but let me go ahead. I'm going to check the difficulty here. I'm going to select auto, which is going to put my highest level characters on there. I'm going to hit explore, and I'm going to hit complete now. I'm going to have to dish out 45 gems to complete it immediately, or I could wait 10 minutes, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to complete now. Hopefully I get something now. I'm going to check the reward again. Got some more experience, and I found a mine. Great. I can show you what that looks like. So on the bottom left, exploration findings, I'm going to click on mine here, and I've got 2 mines here that I can actually go and explore. I got a greater mine and a lesser mine. So what I'll do is I'll hit the greater mine. I'm going to click auto. It's going to select just random characters from my pool here. I'm going to hit mining. These characters are all low level, so it tells me that because they're low level, I probably won't mine all the resources by the time the mine expires. I'm okay with that. I'm going to go ahead and do that for this mine as well. All right, now on raids. So these are raids. Let me see if I can find a raid. All right, so change it to level 2, get my high guys in there. Let's see, just gonna tap through that, complete, got some experience, give me a raid. Nice, I got a powerful enemy encounter, so I'm gonna go right back into exploration findings, click on raid, 100 level raid. So let's go and actually hit that one up. I'll select my characters, hit battle. It's going to put me in a raid. So these raids, you don't actually have to complete them. I'm going to hit auto while I talk. And you don't actually have to complete these raids to get the rewards from them. But what I've found is when you complete them, you have better chance of getting better rewards. If you just let the raid expire, you'll still get the findings or some of the resources from that raid, but they're not nearly as lucrative as they would be if you actually went in there and did the raid yourself. So for this raid specifically, I am again out leveled because I've actually was able to get pretty far in the game using the gear that I've got applied to some of my characters. So very good chance that I'm not going to win this battle here, but you can see where the combinations coming in if you look at the cards. Let me actually take off auto so we can kind of walk through this. So enemy's turn. All right, I've got Ifrit. I'm going to go ahead and apply some dots on these guys. Hopefully I can take out this dude here. Actually, I might have a chance of beating these guys. I lost Durax pretty early on, but we'll see. Oh man, just got annihilated. She's got probably the least gear, so we'll see. We'll see if I can manage 2v4. Oh, Ifrit took a big hit. That's not good. I'm definitely going to need him to make something happen here. Leopold comes in. Doesn't finish Ifrit, but definitely puts a debuff on him for damage down. I've got a triple here. I'm going to finish up this guy because, oh, Leopold's going in the block. So that's one of Leopold's passive abilities. You can see the guy with the shield. He actually blocked my attack on that purple monster there, and that's actually, I think it's a 35% chance. That's one of his passive abilities. So he'll randomly go and block stuff. And definitely not going to win this now that Ifrit's down. We'll see here. Pollen attack, pretty powerful. Yeah, you can see, I mean, this game, in my opinion, again, is probably the most fun that I've had playing mobile games. It's so refined, it's super well made, there's tons of stuff to do, the interaction is amazing. I mean, I haven't even showed you what the actual challenge mode looks like, and I just got completely destroyed, which is fine. So for Mayhem, you don't have to, again, you don't have to even compete in the raid to receive the resources if you just let it expire. So if I go back in here, there's a timer here, you can see above the contribution, I've got 3,000 contribution, 7 hours and 57 is the timer. So once that elapses, I'm gonna get a reward that I can go and claim. So again, majority of your gameplay, after you've sort of maxed out the campaign or you can't progress any further, you're gonna be in here exploring, but keep in mind you're gonna need these essences, right, for exploration, and you only get these essences either by completing missions through your weekly, daily objectives in the battle card, and also you receive essences for dismantling champions. So when you dismantle champions, you don't just get soul stones, you also get a bunch of other resources, essences being one of them. And again, you need 10 essence. If you see here on the bottom right above explore, 10 essence per exploration. So let me go ahead and set one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and hit explore. I won't complete it immediately, I'm just gonna let that run. So let's get back here to the main menu. By the way, another cool thing you can do is you can spin these guys here with your finger, which is pretty cool. Ifrit, I mean, he looks cool. Durex looks pretty sick too. Go into challenge. So between Mayhem and campaign, I'm gonna click on challenge. This is where the arena is. Arena, click on that. This is PvP. So this is where your PvP battles are. You can set your team, right? If I click on squad, I can set my team here depending on what I want to play with. There's a bonus option. If you had bonus NFTs, you can actually apply them here. I can't do it yet, but basically what that allows you to do is receive more victory points to receive more rewards per win when you win in the arena. So rather than just receiving the victory points of your actual squad that you take into battle, you'll actually also receive a bonus using the bonus option here, but that's again apparently not yet live. So when I hit matching, it's actually gonna put me into matchmaking. I won't do that here because I know I've already been talking a lot here, but what you can see on the right side, ranking, you can look at your ranking. Looks like Bulldog's up in here going for a second, close second, and these are some of the testers here. Some of the rewards, if you win the arena, and arena I think it's like every 4 days, every 5 days, something like that, new arena takes place, and if you are ranked in the top 3, you receive some really nice rewards here. You receive an arena reward box, legend the mythic. This box can obtain as an arena season rewards. Acquire legendary myth grade equipment, so you get some really sick gear through placing in the top 3. You also receive minting scrolls, 3 for first place, 2 for second and third. Minting scrolls are not gonna be easy to come by. They're gonna be pretty pricey, and you receive a ton of gems. And then it goes down 4 through 15, right, all the way down to 1,000. So you don't need to be a top player to get something out of the arena. And again, arena is the PvP battle place, player versus player, not versus the NPC. Here are some of the different amounts of lapis that you get when you win arena battles. So as a champions arena, you get 60 per win, and then as a bronze all the way down, you get 10 per win. Just lapis, again, that's kind of one of the resources that you would use to upgrade your champions, and you can also convert them or trade them in for coins. So here is the Tower of Trial. Starting out at the very first floor, you can work your way up, and you can see you receive resources for winning these. I've already beaten all of these. I'm maxed out. I cannot actually even compete with the 25th level. It's actually Varnas. If you go in there, you can see Varnas is actually one of the legendary NFTs that you can get out of the champions box. So guys, make sure you check out the link below and go and buy yourself a champions box, because the cost of what you're paying today for a possibility to get a legendary is never gonna come again once the game is actually out, once the champion boxes go away. Even the rares are going to be more expensive than the rares you're getting in the champions box, and a rare is pretty much guaranteed in every box. Okay, so that is the Tower of Trials. That's also where you're gonna get resources if you can make it through these different levels. I mean, there's tons and tons of levels. I believe it goes all the way up to level 150 actually, and you can see level 50, nice gear here. You get one of these legendary equipment chests. So definitely a tough challenge, but something that's worthwhile when you can make it up there. Okay, so one more thing I have to show you guys, or a couple more things, is really the shop. and this shop is different than the cash shop. So you can see on the top left you've got the cash shop, on the bottom sort of left more towards the center you've got a regular shop, and in this shop you use mileage, and mileage is another currency that can be obtained really just through the trial tower as well as in Mayhem, and what you can use this for is to purchase some other resources. Here you can actually see you can buy experience, you can buy soul stones, a couple of other things here, upgrade stones, which I'll touch on here in a second. There's also ways to create or exchange these for premium tickets, meaning that you can actually buy a premium ticket here and actually go and exchange those for a shot at unlocking some new champions at the estate, which I showed you here in the beginning, and on top of coins and other stuff. So what I like to do also in this shop, you can actually buy experience for cash. So I like to do this because I get a ton of lapis from mining, and I just have a lot of cash to do that. When you buy, it actually goes down into your mailbox in the top right. When I click that mailbox, it opens up all of this, right? I just bought 10 of these. I'm going to hit collect all. Right, that's 10k experience that I can use. I'm going to delete all this now too. Right, so if I go back, I'm back in the shop. All right, so that's really a nice little tool I like to go. So I always go in here and I buy this every day because it's a free 100,000 experience, and really all I'm doing is grinding Mayhem, going back to Mayhem, and I go and I mine and I get a ton of lapis, and then this lapis I go back in here and show you, go into equipment. Right, if I exchange a 3,700 lapis, I get 3.7 million coins. So lapis is actually a nice resource if you're looking to make coin, and you also remember you will need this to upgrade your champions as well. So going back into equipment, which is, by the way, the top right, you see that little bag. I click on that and I click on equipment. This is what I wanted to show you because this is going to be vital in your success in sort of overcoming some of those close battles in the campaign or in the trial of tower, is upgrading or enhancing your gear. So you can actually enhance gear. So I bought Sophia's hero gloves. Remember those striker gloves in the trade market? If I click enhance here, I can actually enhance them, and there's actually an 85% chance, so there's a chance that it fails. So I'm going to keep enhancing until I run out of resources. Now it's actually adding another one as the level gets higher, and then once I enhance it to level 3, you just saw perception, right? So perception was unlocked. So what does perception do for me? I'll show you here. Let me go back into champion. I'm gonna go on Sophia, and I'm gonna click the little magnifying glass here to the right of the power level. When I click that, I see perception. When I click on it, it increases the chance of finding something when completing exploration in Mayhem. So basically, the higher the perception, the more likely I am to unlock another raid or a mine, and the more of your characters have higher perception, the better. So it's not really going to be very useful in the battle specifically, but it will be useful in exploring, which is a big part of this game, right? Is exploring and grinding through that. So let me go ahead and keep leveling this up as much as I can. And then you get another unlock at level 6. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough to get to level 6. We'll see here in a second. Nope, just two of these upgrade stone level 2s short. But once you hit level 6, you get another unlock. You can see some of the other gear. So this one unlock craft, damage down, right, crit power, which is a nice one. So you know the upgrade for the caster's gloves are actually pretty nice because you get resistance and you get crit power, which is nice. So it really depends on the piece of gear, and as you go higher in rarity, so once you have legendary rarity gloves, you'll probably have a third option to unlock, and then as you get to the highest tier, you have all 4 of these to unlock for bonuses to your gear. So definitely wanted to make sure that I touch on that. So that's a quick rundown of the app, quick run on the game, guys. We're gonna move right along into the Lightpaper. I hope you like this. So this is the Lightpaper. The link is in the description down below, along with a link to go and create yourself a GALA account and download Champions Arena and come play with me. Come on, join my estate and let's get it going. With that said, I'm not gonna cover every single thing in here, but I will highlight some of the important stuff. So number 1 will be the faucet, which is basically the supply, which is basically how we earn rewards. So the way that they're going to faucet out or distribute GALA tokens is based on a victory points system. So there's going to be a daily distribution happening at 3 a.m. UTC every day, and that's going to be based on the amount of victory points that you earn in PvP in Arena, which I showed you in the app. Note, victory points can only be earned when you own at least one NFT or NFT ready champion. So you have to have at least one NFT on your lineup or on your squad in order to earn, right? Which makes sense. If you want to earn, you have to put a little bit of something in it as well, which again, champion boxes are still for sale. I'm not sure if there's still a 31% discount for you guys, but I've definitely been telling you and letting you know to make sure you hop on that, because this is not going to be around for a long time. Moving on, base VP is going to be 10 victory points per match. There will be different multipliers on top of that. First multiplier is based on your actual arena level. So how many wins have you earned to get into the different tiers of the arena, all the way from bronze up to champion. You can see the multiplier for champion is up there. Just that base multiplier alone would give you a 300 victory point earned per win, which is huge, right? On top of that, you're gonna have individual multipliers per NFT that you have in your squad. So the highest you can get, right? 3 times or 4 times 7, which, oh my god, 14 plus 14, 28, right? So if you had 4 legendary folks on your team, you would have 2.8 additional multiplier on top of whatever your multiplier is for the type or tier of arena that you're in. And then there's also a 0.15 multiplier for every new champion. I would assume that now in the beginning for launch, every champion is going to be considered a new champion, so this one's going to be a given. But as we progress down the line, any new champions that come out in addition after the initial champion sort of pool are going to have this bonus multiplier to entice or incentivize us to go ahead and get those new champions as well, which I think it makes good business sense. There are some examples here. I'm not going to go through these. On top of that, I want to talk about how the distribution is going to work, because the distribution really is going to be dictated by the amount of engagement in the game that day, meaning how many people are in the cash store purchasing, how many people are changing paid gems for items in game. All of that engagement will contribute to the amount of GALA that's going to be distributed for that specific day, right? And some of those would be Champions NFT purchases, Summoner Skins NFTs, the Aura NFTs, Estates, Nexus, Champion Summoning, right? The amount of champions that are being summoned using gems in game, how many minting scrolls are used. So all of these in-game tasks and actions that you can perform will all contribute to how much GALA is going to be in the reward pool for that day. And then based on that, depending on how many victory points you have, you will receive a percentage of that GALA. Minting scrolls, I talked to you about those. So for any in-game champions that you have earned without having purchased anything, you can mint them into NFTs. And you can see here, even a common is going to cost you about $100. A rare is going to cost you about $300. If you recall, the champions box has at least a rare for you, if not the epic or the legendary. So you're already getting your money's worth there, because at the discount it's about $179. And if you're going to play this game and actually try to mint a rare NFT from inside the game, you're going to be spending $300 worth of minting scrolls, and then $550 for epic, $1,300 for a legendary. So if you sort of take those numbers and compare them with what your options are right now to take chance and really take this opportunity to purchase some champions boxes, it does make financial sense. So definitely want to highlight that. And I will remind you once more, use my link down below to get yourself one of these champions boxes. You will support the channel by using that link, so we would really appreciate that. Nexus NFTs, the Nexus NFT, let me go ahead and switch over to OpenSea for this, but essentially the Nexus NFT is basically what's going to allow you to create a renting platform, meaning that if you are a Nexus NFT holder, people that have NFTs can put their champion on top of your Nexus, and then that will allow folks that do not have NFTs to actually go and rent them and then use those NFTs to earn victory points in the arena. So this is a very similar platform as Spider Tanks. I think it makes a lot of sense. This will allow people that don't have any money invested in the game to participate in the ecosystem, earn victory points, earn rewards, and then work their way up the ladder that way. So yeah, that is the renting ecosystem there, and this sort of breaks down exactly how everything will be working in terms of the percentage of the victory points to the owner, to the player, as well as to the actual Nexus owner, which is going to be the platform. You can upgrade your Nexus to get maximized rewards here. If you're all the way up level 20, you can see here that you're getting 40% and then 20% to the player, whereas opposed to 20 across the board here at level 0. I won't again go through all of these details. So there's a couple other things here where it talks about how the Nexus owner versus the NFT owner versus the player owner gets involved and actually is receiving some kind of earnings from that. So that is it for the Lightpaper. And now let's get into the actual giveaway. So here is how it's going to work. Basically, I'm going to be leaving you a link down below in the comments to my Twitter page. My pinned tweet is going to be the tweet that will actually also be mentioning this YouTube video. Basically, all you're going to need to do is make sure you follow me, make sure you repost that tweet, as well as give it a like. And if you want to comment, great, you don't have to. But again, repost, follow me, and like that tweet. If I have 100 interactions with that tweet, then we're gonna unlock that second NFT, and I'm gonna be giving away the NFT in 2 weeks from airing of this video. So that's 2 weeks from the 23rd of August. So that's how you're gonna get involved. Again, thank you for watching this all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit me up in the comments if you have any feedback, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.